Oh, what's up, boys? So, today, I got an itch. Today we're back to left-handed training. We have officially finished that tournament. We got second place. It wasn't much of a tournament. It was like a charity tournament, but still, second place is second place. But it was like a mixed rating kind of thing, so they ended up not having an open division and just having making their own making kind of like a side division of mixing a 4-5 and a 3-5 together to play doubles. And ended up winning. Well, not winning, getting second place. Lost to a couple younger dudes in their early 20s. They were good. We ended up having 3 match points on them, and somehow, so there's a lesson in this that I'm going to say later when you're up love 40 on somebody else's serve and you're up in the set. And it was a pro set, by the way, so we were up 7-6. At love 40, we were up on their serve, on the 4-5 serve, and we kind of gave it away. I'll explain it later because there's a lesson in that and how we handled that situation. I'll explain it now, anyways. So when we were up love 40 on the 4-5 serve, my partner, who was a newer player to tennis, was very excited that we were going to win the match. And I was saying, as I was walking back to my side of the court to return the 4-5 serve, I was saying to him, hey, listen, this is not over until the last point is played and we win it. So we got to still buckle down. And that's what happened. The 4-5 ended up hitting some good serves. He ended up winning holding, going to 7-all, and we had to play a tiebreaker, and we lost in the tiebreak. So what? It was not a big tournament or anything, so I'm not worried about it. But it just goes to show that, hey, listen, the match ain't over until you're shaking hands. What am I doing? I'm reaching for things. But anyways, it was a fun tournament. I got to go pick up. I wasn't able to stay for the trophy celebration, so I got to go pick up the trophy at a buddy's house. He was running the tournament as well as playing in it to round out the numbers. But we were hitting good. I don't think there was anything I really was messing up on. Volleys felt crisp. Serves were decent, except the second day where it was windy. Had to really buckle down on the serves and just place them in. But other than that, everything was feeling really good. Backhands were feeling great. Forehands were good. The new racket, the blade, the 18x20 Wilson blade, feels phenomenal. I wish I had changed to it earlier, because that Prestige is just too heavy of a racket for me. I can't control it. I feel like I can't do what I want with the racket in the middle of a swing. So I'm very happy with the racket choice, and I better be for that much money these things cost nowadays. Jesus. But now that that's over, now that we're feeling good on our right-handed strokes, we can now go back to playing left-handed, training left-handed. And that's what we're going to do today. We are going to just hit serves today. That's our biggest lagging stroke at the moment. So we're going to get some extra hitting in with serves. Oh, and to go back to finish my point about when you're in the middle of a match and you feel like you're about to win, you're up like love 40 or 40 love, and you have match point. I can't blame my partner because I screwed up too. I didn't make a couple good returns, but as soon as my partner started saying, like, hinting at the fact that we were going to win and it wasn't over yet, it's a weird conflict in your mind that you now have to battle with. Like, before he had started saying that, I was fully locked into, like, all right, we're still hunkering down and going to try and win this game because it's not over yet. But as soon as he said something along the lines that it's like, we're going to be, whatever it was, we're going to win or whatever, it immediately changes the brain chemistry in your mind. And I was battling with it that whole game of yeah, we are going to win, but we're not going to win. It's not over yet. He still can, pull out some serves, which he did. And it just changes everything in your mind. And you're like, you can't have that. Like, your partner needs to be right there with you in the fact of, like, hey, this ain't over yet. So you can't have that creep into your mind. Like, you can't win the first set, go to 5-4 in the second, or even 4-3 or 4-2, and think that you're, thinking about lunch already, or like what you're going to go eat after this, or hitting the showers. Like, it's not over until you win that handshake. Like, don't let those thoughts creep into your mind, because then that'll change your whole game without you even trying, or even having other people's influence telling you that will change your mind without even you wanting to. I don't know if I'm making any sense right now, but it makes sense in my head. I just don't have the best words to describe it. But anyways, let's get back to lefty training. I'm going to like left-handed training now because I don't have the prestige with me anymore. Otherwise, I would pull it out. It was just too heavy for my left hand. My left arm is still not strong enough for a heavy racket. So I think we're going to have a lot better time with the blade playing lefty. But anyways, let's get out there. Oh man, this is going to feel real weird. It feels weird, but I don't think it's going to last long. I think we're going to get right back into dialing in. I mean, that felt good. That felt really good. know it sounds stupid, but figuring out where to throw my toss is a little like hard to figure out, because it's almost like looking into a mirror and trying to figure out what side of the face you're looking at, kind of thing. So it's going to take a little bit for me to like, oh, that's where I need to put the toss. There it goes. Hopefully that was not a good one. Like, it feels good right now, and like from the camera it looks like I know like really what I'm doing with the lefty serve, but I feel like I'm still balancing on that teeter-totter of like not be either making a really good serve or completely whiffing it. Like, I'm not consistent at all. Every serve almost feels like a guess. I got tossed too far in front of me. The right arm, I'm so much concentrated. I'm concentrating so hard on my legs and my arm, my left arm, and my body rotation that I'm not thinking about my right arm. And it just feels like it's just after I throw the toss that this arm is just existing without a purpose. And I need to get into the rhythm of keeping that arm up and then coming around with it instead of here and just it lingering until I hit through. You know, that kind of feeling. Like that one. The right arm hung here instead of like being out here. Got to turn the lights on. So I used to teach tennis at a resort, and there was a prominent tennis professional, I'm not going to say his name, who was the fastest tennis feeder I've ever seen in my life. And how he fed his tennis balls while he was giving lessons was that he would not just, I'll demonstrate. He would not just do this as feeding. He would throw the tennis ball into his racket and feed it that way. So it would go something like this. I'm not doing it justice, but he would throw it into the racket and he would have like 3 or 4 balls in his hands at a time, and it was just boom, 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 boom. Still don't know how he did it. I gotta try and practice it one day. And if you want a hint, he too can serve left-handed. Can't get the timing right. Can't get that toss right either. That shoulder is cold. Hitting more of a slice because I can't get that toss in the right area to be able to hit a kick, so it's being thrown a little too far. What am I doing? A little far to my left this way, so it's creating more of a slice. Okay, that felt, I may have shanked that one, but the whole process of that serve felt like that's what we're looking for. Good. racket preparation on that one, but still pretty good. Anyways, let's get these up and do another basket. Do this all over again. Today we're not going to forget to reset the lights so they don't shut off on us. I catch myself worrying too much about my toss, and I'm not getting my racket in that ready position, so it's still lingering here. When I throw the toss up, I'm like, oh shit, I really have to not only get my racket back now again, but get it in the motion of going back up. I don't like that. Nailed it. Got to get worse before it gets better. Focusing so much on getting my racket prepared. I'm not really thinking about much else. And even in order to hit that kick serve and be able to get your hips through that shot and your shoulders through that shot, you you need to have your feet off the ground so your hips can swing. If you're not getting off the ground, you're not really able to do that full service motion when you're really getting under it and bringing the hips through, because when you're here and you're bringing the hips through, if this right foot is still stuck on the ground, well, it needs to be able to pivot this way, and it also needs to be able to come forward, and you can't really do that if your foot is still stuck to that ground. So getting here, bringing the hips through, and spiraling up to be able to, if this makes any sense, here. Well, that's what it is. That right foot comes back and that left leg comes this way. So your hips are able to fully rotate into that serve, if that makes any sense to anybody. And that's what I'm trying to do right now, is get the coordination to be able to have that hip drive into it. So like let's take a look at like my righty serve. If you can take all of that what I just said and then look at my hips and see where my feet land, it might make a little bit more sense. Do two more. Hard to really show right now because my knee is not the greatest at bending and it's a little injured, but work with me. So see how I need to bring those hips through? And if these legs stay on the ground, I'm really not able to swing my hips through that shot. That's why serving is so taxing, because you're doing like not even just mini squats, you're doing mini squats with a jump. So after a long service game, it really, you're like, oh man, I'm tired. Gotta take this extra shirt off, but it's gonna get cold. So I'm sure I'll be putting it back on any second now. Just serve so much better with less constriction. Okay, so on my right-handed serve, I bring this arm immediately down before I even hit the ball, so I need to remember that. Oh my lord, that toss. that one. Man, I really need to not come out here one time and just sit at home and just throw the toss up over and over and over again until I get it right. That's just, I think that's the biggest bottleneck I have right now with my serve, is just being able to get that toss there every time so we can work on the same serve over and over again. All right, there we go. I think it's starting to click. Alright, I've decided in my head that we're going to do as many baskets of serves, as many as it takes to get some forward progress today. Be able to say that we've made some gains today towards our goal of being able to hit a left-handed serve consistently. Anyways, let's get these up and do another one. Oh, alright, we got stumbling over my words. We have about an hour and a half left to get as many serves in as possible. And that's the thing, like I'm continuing on about something. What I was thinking is, when you're learning a stroke, a tennis stroke, or just anything new in general, there has to be a large amount of thought consistently into what you're doing. There can't be any real lapses of not thinking when you're learning something new. Every time you hit, you're I'm kind of analyzing every shot and thinking, what did I do right? What did I do wrong? And how can we fix that? Good shot. Like timing that right arm dropping is what I'm thinking about right now, because I switched back over to my righty to see when I naturally start bringing that left arm down and when I make contact with the ball. So now I'm trying to apply it over to my left hand side and trying to mimic that same feeling and that same timing, because I think that's another problem we've identified today, is that right arm dropping at the right time to when you're going to strike the ball. Which might be something you don't normally think about, but when you start playing left-handed, all those little mechanics start creeping up in your mind, and you start thinking about them, and you're like, oh, that actually does make a lot more of a difference than I would have normally thought. And a way of doing that is those past two serves, the first one I did a full cadence and I screwed up my right arm. I still brought it here instead of letting it drop. And then the second serve, I started here and threw the ball up and just focused on that right arm. So taking away mechanics of the serve just so I can focus on one thing really helps. So instead of, if you are working on that right arm that wants to come down or to left, just starting here and going through half of the service motion so you can just focus on that right arm. Because if you're still doing all of this, now you're thinking, okay, are my feet in the right position? Am I taking the racket back right? Am I bringing my shoulders back right? I don't want to think about that right now. I just want to think about that right arm dropping at the right time. Okay, I'm going a little too quick. I need to slow down. But I was in the groove for a second at least. Yikes. I just can't get that toss where I want it. But we're starting to get a lot of action on that ball now. But when I am hitting like really fast kick serves with that left arm, what I'm thinking about is I'm thinking of like a quarterback throwing just an absolute bomb downfield. I'm looking to accelerate that arm upward, up, and kind of in an arcing motion, because obviously your arm is attached to your body. So throwing it up, and then it naturally has that arcing motion here. So it kind of feels like, you know, your quarterback just throwing a bomb downfield. That's what's going on in my head, because it's kind of the same motion. You're getting here, and then you're bringing your body more parallel to the ground to be able to let that lat start working a little more. Because if you're here, it's all kind of shoulders, and you're not really able to use any of your back. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like, watch my righty. Watch how I'm bringing my body almost a little bit more parallel to the ground to allow a better path for my shoulder. Is probably a better way of saying it. Not the greatest example. But you can understand what I'm trying to say, I hope. Otherwise, I am way off base. But that's for kick serves mostly. Not really flat, because flat you're going to be more upright using trunk rotation, because you're not trying to brush up behind that ball. So, like, flat is just kind of being a pendulum coming through. Alright, let's get these up to another basket. I don't know if you can see that thing flying around in front of us, but I'm pretty sure that's a bat. I don't know where it went. I might have been blocking it with my body so you couldn't see it, but I'm pretty sure that was a bat. And bats terrify me because they carry rabies, and rabies terrifies me. So, I got a bat flying around me now. seriously, just taking out that whole half of the motion of the serve and just starting here is so wonderful in order to really like concentrate on what you're doing. If you want to take it a step further, you can get like a towel or something, put it on the baseline, and just serve from your knees from this position here, and just work on that extension of the racket behind you, behind the ball. Where's that bat? Probably leave us alone because I think he's just looking for bugs right now. Fingers crossed. Opening my racket face a little bit more so I can get that ball deeper. Shoulder, the traps in the shoulder, lag behind and whip a little bit more from the shoulder and the trap rather than the whip starting at my elbow. say though, I have been working on another project of mine, and it has to do with right-handed and left-handed. A couple different sports actually. Like I'm about to break a frame with how many times I'm shanking. Alright, let's do another. If anybody's curious as to what muscle I'm feeling the most right now, or what muscle is working the most, it's the teres major, the one right above your lat. So right here is what I'm feeling right now. That's where my power is kind of coming from with these serves. Not to say that there's a lot of power, but for what it's worth, that's what's talking to me right now, that muscle. Right, I think we only have time for one more basket. Park closes at 8. I don't know what time it is. I'm actually going to go check. 7:15. We got time. Oh man, yikes. Yeah, my timing is off. I'm being weird. Yeah. Alright. Gotta focus. Playing it safe. some rough serves. Oh, I've done so many kick serves, I'm starting to lose focus, and it's really hard for me to just naturally focus on hitting kick serves. It's almost like if you were eating a meal, like a salty meal, and you were eating a lot of it and you got really sick of it because it's just kind of like one of those salty meals, and you need I say too much, and you need some sugar to cut that salt so you can eat more of the savory food. It's kind of what I'm feeling right now. If I want to hit another basket, I feel like I need to hit the rest of those flat. So when I come back with another basket, I thought the camera shut off for a second, that I'm more enthused to hit some more kick serves. So I'm going to hit the rest of this basket on the ad side, just to kind of cut that salt a little bit. Apparently flat serves are a lot easier. Oh boy. those are no slouch serves. Those are not bad. For a guy who's never really used his left arm his whole life, that's not bad. I will take those. Man, it's not 8 yet. We still have time. I think we got to do in our basket. At least we, cut the salt with some sugar. Now we'll go back to the last basket of hitting kick serves. And then I think we'll feel somewhat accomplished for the day. Still have to go to the gym after this. This is why I'm drinking energy drinks when I come out here. I'm warming up for the gym. All right, let's get to it. Last basket, and then we're getting up out of here. I'm exhausted for some reason. I haven't really even done anything all day. Oh, thank you. You're welcome. Have a good night. But also don't forget how important it is to, when you're tossing up, not just to toss here and then go through your motion, but when you toss it up and stretch out that arm, and you want to feel all of this stretch. If you don't feel all of this stretch, you're not really getting into the right position. So here, throw up, don't just go here, go here. Really get that arm up and stretch all of this muscle. You're going to feel, in your swing, you're going to feel a completely different level of power when you're coming through the shot. Because it's allowing, when you're here, you're not really getting this whole trunk and arm back as far as possible. But when you get it Here, well, now we're really able to wind this torso back and down, and also getting that elbow tucked back here. So now we have the maximum amount of distance between essentially your elbow and that finished stroke, because that's what you're really thinking about, is that elbow coming through and then letting the rest of your arm almost whip up and through and around, kind of like a semicircle shape, an upside down U. Now it's all about putting it all together. Oh boy, little by little. Day by day. Oh, I'm really struggling to get through this basket. Not necessarily a physical, like, depletion, but a mental depletion. Just trying to grind through. Just trying to grind. Getting sloppy. It's like you're lifting in the gym and you've done your 3 sets and you're doing a drop set and you're not caring about form, you're not caring about anything, just sloppy reps, just getting them in. That's what this feels like right now. Drop setting. Don't care about where they're going, what it looks like, just getting reps in. That's all I care about. Too far in front of me. This is where I'm going to break a frame doing that. Alright, last 2. I gotta at least try. take them. All right, it's time to get out of here. It's almost 8. It's dark. We're alone in the woods. There's bats flying around me. Ready to get out of here. Go to the gym. Alrighty. We're done for the day. Oh, it wasn't really much, but it was a lot in terms of serving, which is what we are pretty far behind on. So we got to make up for being behind on serves, because we can't start a point unless we know how to serve consistently. It's getting there. For now, all I'm thinking about is getting to the gym, doing shoulders, front delts, medial delts, and rear delts. Maybe sneaking some biceps in there. Then, hitting up Chipotle, getting a bowl with a tortilla on the side, vinaigrette, white rice, black beans, al pastor, now that they have that in season. But every time I've been going in there, the al pastor has been all out. I haven't been able to get it. Then pico corn cheese. That's all I need. I'll go home and I'll cook up some chicken thigh, throw some extra chicken in there, and ditty it up so I have a lunch tomorrow. But anyways, that is it for me today, folks. Till tomorrow, which I think we might get out here tomorrow. Well, no, we can't. We are we're playing a few sets tomorrow, right-handed. So, we will not be out here tomorrow. Fridays, I don't really like coming out here because it's just too many people causing ruckus out here. It's a little distracting and a little don't want to be out here on Friday nights. So, either Saturday, early evening, or Monday. But anyways, alright, that's it. Peace.